Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good day. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about rappers and celebrities. We're going to ask this question that was asked on Instagram. Why rappers and black celebrities, as much money as they have, as much clout as they have, why are they not creating jobs, building schools, and developing industry for the black community? I want to break this down for you, and I promise you, I'm not here to hate on the rappers. I'm not here to hate on the celebrities. I'm just going to kind of break some of this down for you and give you perspective. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboystv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I wanted to say hello to everybody. Good morning to all the black and non-black people that decided to join us today. Everybody's welcome as long as you have an open mind. And as long as you want to be intelligent, you know, we're not here to be ignorant. We're not here to be left behind. We're not here to get oppressed. We're not here to complain about how hard it is to be black and why life ain't fair. We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing without Tarina, she used the word the government, right? Without the government, we can't do nothing. Everybody just oppressing everybody. Yeah, we know that. I get that. We understand racism very well. In fact, many of you last night joined us as we were reading Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson, which I encourage you to go to powernomics.com and get a copy of his books. In case if you don't know, now you know Dr. Anderson is one of the greatest black men in the history of this planet. So he's one of those guys that can kind of break down some of what you're seeing in America in terms of how oppression and white supremacy works. And so anyway, hello, One Self Shop and Tyler Tyler out of Palm Springs. I see you, Javaris. DDS, Montez Walls out of Owensboro, Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky. Shout out the name of your city. Feel free to put the name of your city in the chat. And hello to everybody on Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. If you want to follow me on Instagram, and also my website is boycewatkins.com. So let me share my screen real quick because I want to let you guys know what was on my mind today. I'm about to get on a plane. Before I get on the plane, though, I said to myself, you know, I really want to talk to my people about this right quick. And let me see here. Let's see. This app is getting more complex by the day. So what I'm going to do is show you. This is on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So what I did was I put this post up, and you see this picture here. I'm circling down here. I'm not going to hit I'm not going to click on it because it'll start playing some Outkast music. But anyway, it's a picture of a bunch of rappers in the picture. And it looks like, and if you're on Instagram, you don't see it, but if you're on Instagram, it's on my Instagram. And there's a Jim Jones in the front holding up a champagne glass with T.I. You got Diddy in the picture. I see Jay-Z. I see that big fat guy. What is his name? Kid Khaled, who always says another one and we went in or whatever. I forgot what it's, but he's great at branding. He's not necessarily talented in my view, but then again, maybe he's the guy behind the scenes that's making great beats. So God bless him for that. Then you got Swiss Beats. There's another guy. I think that's Steve Stout or something. I can't tell. And I see Yo Gotti and George C Fraser, Dr. George Fraser, one of the smartest black men I've ever met. Put up an interesting statement. I don't know if it's his statement or not, because I've actually seen people address this before, but I thought it was worth talking about. And what Dr. Fraser puts up there, and he says there's $1 billion in this picture. And let me see if I can read it real quick. He says, and not one. Let me just try to see if I can play it without the volume. He says $1 billion in this picture, and not one black-owned independent town, school, hospital, bank, insurance company, manufacturing company, or militia. We are our biggest problem. And a lot of you had things to say. If you want to still make a comment on that post, feel free to go to the Real Boyce Watkins and join the conversation. All ideas are accepted. The only ideas that I won't accept are simple-minded things, right? Simple-minded responses would be, Yeah, why you be hating? Why you be hating on the rappers? Why you get your hand out that man pocket? You be hating, dog. That's little kid language. That's not the language of strategic and intelligent people. I'm sorry. If we're trying to grow, we can't be 45 years old talking like teenagers. Like, why you be hating, dog? You be hating. Get your hand out that man pocket. That's stupid. I'm sorry. I don't want to call anybody stupid. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I usually do, but I'm gonna just say it's just stop it, please. Let's think about this a little bit, right? And I think another simple-minded response that I would prefer that we not get into is one that simply says all the celebrities are ignorant and that they're worthless and that rappers have no value. I don't think that's true either. That's not true either. You guys have seen me bring rappers onto this platform that I respect. You saw me bring in Ice Cube 2 times on this platform because I liked what Ice Cube was trying to do with his political power. I have got on the phone with Kanye to talk about political issues. I asked him to promote. I said, could you please tweet something about Dr. Claude Anderson? He instantly did it on the spot. Shout out to Kanye. Kanye ain't perfect, but Kanye has contributed on some level. So some of the guys are really trying, right? This is important to understand. I don't think you have to have this conversation in a way that says, I hate all the rappers. You see Killer Mike out here doing the best he can. You see T.I. in his evolution as a human being. You see some of these other artists out here that are really kind of saying, okay, how do I really try to do something for my people, right? Immortal Technique, Montez Walls, thank you. Immortal Technique came through. And before I even talked to him for an hour on this platform, we talked for 2 hours as Black men off camera and had a great conversation. I was very impressed with his intelligence. And so I think it's important that when we talk about how artists are moving and what they're doing and not doing, I think it's important to try to have some element of balance. And even I've become more balanced over time. I used to be very frustrated, and I still am. But I said, maybe shaking my fist at the air isn't the best way to solve this problem. Okay. But at the same time, remember, you have to let go of this old Negro tradition of getting on your hands and feet and knees and just bowing to every son of a bitch who made a couple $100 from the white man. Seriously, give me a yes or no if you know what I'm talking about. One of the things that Black people do that you need to stop doing is you worship people just because white people put them on TV. Seriously, that white folks will grab the most raggedy Negro, somebody who hates Black women, somebody who's teaching your kids to go get hooked on dope so they can die at an early age, somebody who's mass marketing Black genocide worse than a freaking Klansman. Try not to cuss today. That's part of my evolution. Stop cussing so much, right? As much as a damn Klansman, that worse than a member of the KKK. Seriously, like you really are up here rapping about how many Black men you have killed. Like, are you serious right now? And you up here talking about Black Lives Matter. Black lives can't matter to you if you dance into a song called look at how many Negroes I shot today. Like, seriously, like you literally are dancing to a song where a guy is celebrating the murder of young Black men, but yet you walk around saying that the way they're killing our men is just bothering me. But then that song came out, that was my jam. Get some discernment, please. Like, seriously, like let's evolve a little bit and let's start holding our own feet to the fire and kind of saying, well, maybe that's a little bit contradictory. Maybe it's a little bit hypocritical. Maybe we can do a little bit better, right? So let me just talk about that statement. And again, I put the post up on my Instagram. I love it when my Instagram is a forum for free speech and intelligent Black people or people who want to be intelligent. You ain't even got to be there yet. Just if you want to grow, it's a great place for people to talk. And I believe you should talk about whatever you want to talk about. So here's the deal. In that statement, what Dr. Fraser mentions, and again, I'm going to give him credit for the post. I don't know if it was his. Again, I've seen the picture before, but I think it's a great thing to talk about. He's basically saying, look, there's $1 billion in this picture. All this flexing, all this chest thumping. Look at me. Look at how successful I am, holding the glass up in the air. So many of us are cheering for that. So many of us are calling that Black excellence. But is it really Black excellence? Like, excellence, let's look up the term. Let's look up the definition of the word excellent. Let's see. What's the definition? Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. What's the definition of the word excellent? Excellent, extremely good, outstanding. Excellent. The best meaning of excellence is eminently good, first class, superior. So here's what I want to ask. Now, when I think about excellent, synonyms for the word excellent: accomplished, admirable, attractive, distinguished, exceptional, exemplary, exquisite, fine, first rate, great, good, magnificent, outstanding, skillful, sterling, superb, superlative, capital, certified, champion. So here's what I believe when I see these men in this picture, right? When I see the men in this picture, I see excellence in a certain context, right? Do I see hip hop excellence? It's hard to debate that. It's hard to kind of make that point entirely because y'all know that there are excellent artists who never get on the radio. There's no reason, there's no way anybody in their right mind can explain why rappers like D1 get no airtime, other than for the fact that he's not rapping about stereotypical ideas or things that are going to get black people killed. There's no way you can explain why Immortal Technique is not on the radio, other than to say, well, he's an intelligent revolutionary who believes black people need to stand up for themselves, right? If you've heard these guys rap, you know that they're every bit as good as everybody in this picture. There's the picture right there. I'm putting it on the screen, right? So excellence. If you're gonna use the word excellent, I think you have to contextualize it very, very carefully. And what I mean by that is these men are excellent at getting lots of attention in a white supremacist system and getting white-owned record labels and white-owned platforms to promote them. That's what they're excellent at. They're excellent at navigating the system of white supremacy and getting put on TV and getting put on the radio and getting money from mostly white-owned record labels and Jewish-owned record labels in order to promote their brand and to do their thing. So it doesn't say Swiss Beats is not talented. Y'all know that he is. But if you want to use a term like black excellence, I think you have to make sure you narrow it down to exactly what is he excellent at. So we talk about what these guys are excellent at, right? They're also excellent at branding, at presenting a persona. They're excellent at flexing. Like, I'm excellent at doing a video with a bunch of women in bikinis with an AK-47 on my lap, with a pound of cocaine in the back, right? And presenting an image to you that, for whatever reason, because you've been fed a type of dysfunction that came from the war on drugs and the crack era, where CIA dropped crack into the black community, you like that image. You think that's keeping it real. You know, when Rick Ross says I'm a boss, you're like, well, what you say? Well, what does that mean to be a boss? When I think about boss, I think about my daddy. He was the boss of our household. When I think about boss, I think about a CEO, maybe, who's running the company. When I think about a boss, I think about a person who knows their destiny, right? Who's going for what they want, right? But in the Rick Ross world, and again, no disrespect to Rick, I think Rick he's not terrible, right? He's not a terrible guy. He's mixed. He's a mixed bag, right? In Rick's world, boss means I'm visualizing this. I am on a yacht in Miami with a white shirt on that's open, with my chest out, with a bunch of chains on my chest, and I got a fine-ass woman with a big booty on this side. I'm holding a glass of champagne. I got a gun in the back in case you fuck with me, and I got some cocaine. I'm moving that cocaine, and that's how I got paid, right? And that's boss, right? That's, unfortunately, that has distorted the mind of many young black men to think that's what a boss looks like. Now, it doesn't mean you're not a boss. I mean, yeah, if you are a kingpin in the coke game, and I've known them, they're definitely bosses. I mean, some of the best entrepreneurs on earth were drug dealers, and it wasn't necessarily their fault. Again, the CIA dumped a bunch of crack in the black community. So what are you going to do? You know, some guys didn't want to go work at Burger King. I can understand that. I completely get that, right? But I think that what you have to understand at the same time is that the white man got you boxed in with that nonsense. He boxed you in. How did he box you in? Well, let me show you how he boxed you in. I have a meeting soon, so I can't really talk for a long time today. I hate that, but I'm going to show you this picture. Look at this image. Who's in this picture? In the chat, type in the names of the people in this picture. In the Instagram, we're going to say the names so you'll know who's in this picture. This is the Olympics. There's an image of Kevin Hart, Stephen A. Smith, and Snoop Dogg. Kevin Hart, Stephen A. Smith, and Snoop Dogg. The reason this image is very powerful to me is because this is a reflection of exactly how white folks have you boxed in to a specific typecast of what a black man is supposed to be. The three areas that the black man is allowed to have any sort of relevance in white-owned racist media is if he's in one of three areas. If he is a rapper, particularly a gangster rapper, that maybe you rap about, killing black people, whatever, or if you are a comedian, or if you are somehow linked to sports. Stephen A. Smith is not an athlete, but he talks about the athletes, right? So he's a sports guy, right? Now, so maybe a better example might be Kevin Hart, Snoop Dogg, and Shaquille O'Neal, or LeBron James, or something like that, right? But those are the three areas that the black man typically is allowed to excel: sports, entertainment, or comedy. I think there's a reason for that. If you read books like Black Labor, White Wealth, you'll know that even going back to slavery, the comedian is not a threat. The comedian is going to make white people laugh. White people like black men to make them comfortable. That's why in Hollywood, you have so many men putting on dresses and wigs in order to make others say, ha, 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 oh, he can't be a scary Negro. He's got a dress on, right? You can't stand toe-to-toe, eye-to-eye with the white man and really say, I'm a man just like you, because he's not going to believe you. He's not going to see it that way. Kevin Hart's a short little comedian. That's what works for him. Stephen A. Smith is connected to sports, right? The black male, we excel at sports. We're excellent at sports. Many of us are. And sports is that venue through which black people, if you go back 100 years, you had white people that looked up to black men who could play sports, who could jump high and run fast and everything else, right? Snoop Dogg, he's the jolly rapper, right? That's what he's become. But he's also the jolly gangster rapper, right? So as long as you rapping about killing black people or whatever, then it's okay, right? You rap about beating white women, well, then we're gonna take you down. You rap about going out and I'm gonna go find some gay people and just take them out today. That ain't gonna work. But if you like, remember, and then also the disrespect for women. Again, I'm not hating on Snoop. I like Snoop. He did good in the Super Bowl. He did a great job. But remember, his most famous lyric was, "We don't love them hoes." So that disrespect for black women is something that sells, whether you're talking about Snoop Dogg or Kevin Hart or Kevin Samuels. It sells, right? The disdain for black women is something that is welcome in media. It makes sense to people. It's like, yeah, we hate black women too. We hate them. And remember, when you go to some of these concerts, you got to really look at who's on stage and who's in the audience, right? A lot of these concerts where you might have black men rapping about killing black men or calling black men the N-word, right? There's the people in the stands cheering that on are white people. So these are the same white people who are the white liberals who claim that Black Lives Matter in one breath, but in the other breath, they're literally dancing along to a song with lyrics like "Die, die, Igga, die." Right? How you dancing to a song called "Die, Igga, die," and you up here talking about Black Lives Matter? Clearly, Black lives don't matter if you think that the song "Die, Igga, die" is okay. It doesn't make you sick to your stomach. Right. So my point on this is to say this. Look, if you want to get a quick answer to that question with George Fraser, why is there $1 billion in this picture and no black-owned schools and black-owned hospitals and all this other stuff? It's because rappers and entertainers are excellent at what they're excellent at. What they're not excellent at is creating industry. Like, our biggest celebrities create maybe 10 or 15 jobs for their entourage. White folks, their biggest celebrities are people like Elon Musk, who create 1 million jobs at SpaceX and Tesla, mostly for white people. Jeff Bezos, he created a 1.6 million jobs for mostly white people, right? To some extent, some would argue, and I don't disagree with you, that you expect too much from your athletes and your entertainers, and it's not always their fault, right? Because they're not trained at the things that black people need. But at the same time, you must also challenge yourself to say, why am I looking at this person like they're the most successful black person in America, when really there's a whole lot more out there that needs to be done, right? LeBron James, shout out to him. He's created some jobs for his friends. He's developed what I think is going to become some industry. He built a school. But one thing I need y'all to understand is that one school ain't going to save the whole black community. One school makes no dent, no impact whatsoever in the status of black people across this country. There are 40 million black people. 40 million people can't go to one goddamn school. So stop saying, well, he built a school. I don't see white people saying, oh, he built one school. That makes a difference. That's going to help all of us do better. No, one damn school should be a template for something that expands across the country. One school should be the starting point for 1,000 schools, right? You need to understand the concept of industrialization. The power that white Americans have always had is that they understand that you mass produce things that you want to see in action. You don't create one and say, look, I did one good thing. Look at what I built. No, you build a million of them. They won a war against Germany by building thousands of ships, thousands of planes, millions of bullets, thousands of tanks. They didn't say, well, we built one good tank. We're going to win the whole war. We got one tank, yo. We got one tank and one big gun. We're going to kill everybody with it. That's your problem right there. That's your problem right there. You got to understand scale. You got to get military minded. Tupac used that term. I love that term when I was young. It was a great term. Military minded. Military minded means you got to figure out how to have an army. All right. Not one super Negro. One super soldier ain't going to fix it. You need an army. We're all part of this army. Right. So what I'm saying here is this. Look, I'm not here to talk bad or dog out athletes and entertainers. I know some of them. They know me. I don't want them to think that I hate them at all. And what I want to do is kind of have some joint accountability. On one hand, if you are, to whom much is given, much is required. So if you are that celebrity who's sitting on the throne, bragging about how wealthy you are, how many cars you got, how many foreign whips you done bought, how many Gucci bags you bought your girl, just stop it, first of all, because you sound like a goddamn child. Number two, go brag to me about what you're doing with that money on a capital investment standpoint to create hundreds of jobs for Black people. If you flex on that. Flex on that. Don't flex on me. Don't flex to me about how much money you spent with white people, because that really makes you sound insane right now. The community is more intelligent now. People understand economics now. People like myself and Dr. Claude Anderson have been educating millions of people on what smart economics looks like. And now, so the stuff you said in 2008 is not going to work in 2022 because Black folks are getting smarter. I really believe that. So that's the onus on them. And if they want to learn how to industrialize and how to scale up what they're doing, that's where you call people like me. Ice Cube called me because he understood that maybe I can support something that he's working on. He didn't just call me, though. He talked to a lot of smart people that know things that aren't going to be celebrated by white people. So yes, rappers, God bless them, they have infiltrated the system. I think one day white America is going to be very they're going to have regrets about giving so much power and leverage to a guy like a Snoop Dogg, because they don't understand at some point a guy like a Snoop Dogg is going to talk to a guy like me who's going to say, hey, if you really want to use your power in a way to strike a blow to white supremacy, here's what you do. Maybe one day a Floyd Mayweather will sit down with a person who thinks like me, and he's going to say, bro, you've got $100 million. Let me show you how we can build 800 schools and run them and hire, 3,000 Black educators to run those schools. Like, we could do this, right? And I think that there are some entertainers who understand that, who are like, yeah, like, what do I do next, right? But the problem is that there is a natural divide. I think that we also need to understand why Black-owned media is so important, because pay attention now. Why do people look up to the entertainers and the celebrities and all that? Why do we get all excited when we see some entertainer we know about? Well, it's because basically somebody put them on TV and somebody gave them a lot of money. Being famous and being rich automatically gives you validation in the minds of many people. They don't care how you got the money. They don't care how you got famous. You could be famous for cooning out every week, and people will still think that's admirable. They'll really think that this is Black excellence. They'll put you in front of kids and say, this is what a successful person looks like. And then they'll be speaking at schools. Well, if you want to grow up and be like me, here's what you do. That needs to end. And one way that we can end that is supporting Black-owned media, where we have the ability to create our own heroes, right? So it doesn't mean that there's not a space for Kevin Hart or for Snoop or for the athletes. What it means, though, is that we have it in its proper place. We say, okay, these guys are very successful at what they do, but this is not the best and brightest of the Black community. We've also got some political scientists over here. We've got some medical doctors who are killing the game over here. We've got some Black attorneys that will knock your socks off and sue the shit out of you. We've got some Black mamas who are raising extraordinary kids. We've got some fathers that are holding it down for the community. We must create our own heroes so that we don't let the whole community get boxed in to the entertainer, rapper, comedian, athlete box. That's what has to occur. We can coexist. Doesn't mean we hate the entertainers and the athletes. It just means that white folks will only give attention to certain segments of the community. And and these tend to be people who support their interest. Snoop Dogg would not have been performing at the Super Bowl if he had not been up there apologizing his ass off when the Gayle King controversy went down. Do y'all remember that? Or is your memory that short? Do y'all remember when poor Snoop, poor guy, I feel bad for him on this. I was really happy that he spoke up when Gayle King tried to say, posthumously accused Kobe of rape with her raggedy butt, right? And Snoop came out and said, "You dog head bitch," right? And the minute he said that, go back and watch. I said to you all, don't do that, because they're going to have you on your knees begging to get back into the system. Like, do not do that. You went too far. You didn't have to call her a dog head bitch. You could have just made your point and kept your job. But now you done lost your job. Now they're going to publicly lash you. They're going to publicly humiliate you to show you who's boss. That is the game. That is the strategy. Get the biggest, strongest buck Negro on his knees and remind these Negroes that we're in control of this. They did it on the plantation. They do it today. Snoop Dogg would not have been on that stage if he had not apologized profusely 3 different times, humiliating himself in the process. In fact, why do you think Snoop Dogg was on stage and Ice Cube was not? Because Ice Cube didn't apologize. If Ice Cube had apologized, "I'm sorry, boss, I didn't mean to get involved in your politics and mess up your money, sir," you would have got Ice Cube on that stage, I bet, instead of that chubby 50 Cent hanging upside down at 46 years old looking crazy. You're 46 years old, man. You ain't supposed to be hanging upside down. That might kill you. Seriously, dude. Seriously, and take the wife beater. No, man, you're 46. You shouldn't be 46 trying to do things you did at 26. I could have told you that. I think he knows that. He's a smart man. But what is my point? My point is to say that you got to understand how this game is played. White supremacy is a system. You can't beat a system without having a better system. Systems are connected to scaling and industrialization. Systematic solutions means that we don't sit around and say, "Yeah, you built one school." No, we say, "Oh, great, one school is awesome. That's a great start. Now, how are we going to build 1,000 schools? How are we going to get you to use all your corporate connections and connections to media outlets and all this other stuff to go raise $1 billion so we can build 1,000 schools? Because we got the educators." Just hit me up, LeBron. I can send out an email. I'll have you an army of really smart, intelligent Black people ready to go to work right away. And they'll even take a pay cut to come and join the movement. You just got to set it off, because you got 80 million Twitter followers and I don't. I have 130,000. I'm doing the best I can with what I got, but I can't dribble a basketball. I can't bust a rap, and my jokes are not that funny. So white folks will only let me go so far. Do you understand what I am saying? You have to gain the ability to industrialize your solutions. You must have the ability to scale up. You stop. Don't tell me how much money you spent on Gucci. Show me how many jobs you created. And don't show me that you got 4 jobs for your homeboys. That's great. I need you to show me that you have 4,000 jobs for all the people in your hood. You should not be a billionaire rapper doing videos in a hood where everybody's broke except you. That does not look good on you. How your people are doing is a direct reflection on you. Manhood, that's manhood. I measure my manhood by how well my people around me are doing. If I talk about, "I'm a man, look at me, I'm a great man," but my kids are raggedy, then I'm not such a great man after all, am I? If I'm talking about, "I'm a great man," and my woman is out here in the street struggling to get a can of Beanie Weenies, then I'm not such a great man after all, am I? So part of your success, Malcolm told you this. Malcolm used to talk about this. A big chunk of your success as a man is measured by how well your people are doing. So if Jay-Z is going back and doing a video in the Marcy Projects, and everybody, you got grown men riding bicycles and little kids looking dusty and little raggedy corner store, guys sitting around holding liquor bottles with $10 in their pocket, but you rolled up in a Benz, that would make you look like a slumlord. Not that you are one, but that's the impression that intelligent people are going to get. They're going to say, "Damn, with all this success, what good is your success if ain't nobody else winning except for you?" If you're eating well and everyone that you love is starving, are you necessarily a good leader? Or are you, a narcissistic demagogue? Not that I'm calling anybody this. I'm saying that this is what you need to be able to discern. So let's go back. I got to go. I'm really late for my meeting, but I had to have this conversation with you, so it was worth the exchange. Let's look at this picture again, okay? So in this picture, you got all the rappers. You got Khaled and all the superheroes. They create personas. You got Yo Gotti and T.I. T.I.'s a great rapper. I met T.I. in Ghana. Good smart guy. God bless him. Right? Diddy's always dancing and flexing. I mean, he's been relevant for 30 years. I mean, that's impressive. But I think the question is, what difference does it make to the community? What difference? I mean, where has the community benefited from any of this other than being fed an illusion similar to the illusions that are fed to us by the Democratic Party? I think we have to sort of scale up and industrialize, and that's the point of this whole conversation. But again, I want to make it clear, this is not anti-rapper, not anti-comedian, not anti-athlete, not anti-nothing. This is really just a pro-black conversation. Just the same way being pro-black doesn't mean you hate white people. Well, being pro-black doesn't mean you hate the rappers. Their music is good. They are excellent at what they do. But at the same time, there has to be a power move made by the community. And we got to figure out what that's going to be. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for listening. Feel free to go to boycewatkins.com if you want to join any of the stuff we have going on. I have a stock market investing class and all kinds of stuff that we do. And so if you're interested in being a part of anything we're doing in the Black Business School, we have 150,000 students worldwide. Again, we built this with our bare hands, with literally the money in our pocket, and we're impacting the world. So if you'd like to be a part of that on any level, feel free to go to boycewatkins.com and get started. And if you disagree with this conversation, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I'm just encouraging you to have an open-minded point of view and understand if they were Jewish, they probably couldn't get away with all that flexing and not giving money to the synagogue. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Jewish community does not let you do that. The Chinese actually passed a law where they said that we're not going to let celebrities get on social media and brag about how much money they have. That sends the wrong message to the youth. Did y'all know that? The Chinese, they care about their youth. We don't care so much about our youth in America. So I'm not coming out of left field with this, but it seems like I'm coming out of left field because this is not slave talk anymore. This is the talk of free Black people. This is strength talk. Maybe you're not used to that, but I encourage us to adjust. All right, guys, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I'm out of here. Please have a great day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Take care now. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.